Hey, just a heads up, the Creighton Blue Jays are on their way to the interview room. If you haven't heard, game time Sunday is 2:20. Just a reminder, please silence your phones and electronic devices, and there's no recording of the press conferences here in the interview room. And when then you have a question, just raise your hand. We'll get a microphone around to you. We'll do the best we can to get all the questions in before time expires for our first press conference tonight. Congratulations, guys. Thank you. Yeah. And as they get settled here and get ready to roll, we'll ask Coach to give us some opening remarks on tonight's game. Whenever you're ready, Coach.
We defeated a really good basketball team. If you didn't care who won, you had to appreciate the brand of basketball that both teams are playing. We're trying to do what they do. They're trying to do what we do. Take care of the basketball, take good shots, make things tough at the rim. And, at halftime, we shot 62%. We're only up 4. And I'm not sure how much it had to do with us. It had a lot to do with Princeton and their ability to space us and make us make mistakes. And felt like we were just a little more tuned in late in the first half and into the second half. You have to be ready at all times when you're guarding them. But the ball moved. We had some assists. Found a way to get it to caulk down low and get some easy ones. But really proud of the team. We've taken a step that nobody that's ever worn a Creighton uniform has taken. And that's really special stuff. Kyle Korver talked to us before the game about an opportunity to make history, and this is a really fun group to do it with. And but no, not much time for celebration. As I told Arthur, I want him to go to the Final Four, but I want him to go on our team plane, not to fly there on his own to watch his brother. So we've got some work to do the next 40 hours.
Thanks, Coach. Start with questions here. Right side, second row.
Ryan, just what does this mean? Second Sweet 16 berth now, making Creighton history. What does this all mean to you?
I mean, it's just, at the end of the day, there's 8 teams left, and to be one of those 8 teams is just crazy. I mean, it's what you work for all year. It's what you work for since you get here on campus in the summer, and it's just all the hard work paying off now.
Over on the left side, second row.
All right, Brian Bennett with The Athletic. For Greg and Ryan, Greg, it looked like you pulled Ryan out on one of those timeouts in the first half and said something to him, and then Ryan was really aggressive right after that. Could you guys talk about just what the message was and what happened after that?
His version may be different than mine. We'll see. I didn't like the look in his face, and I knew he was frustrated. We missed a couple opportunities to get him the ball, and he missed a couple opportunities to finish when we did. And I just explained to him that I don't care what happened on the last play. In this huddle, our team needs your face to look like a leader's face. And to his credit, he maybe didn't like it, but he did it and started playing pretty well after that.
That's basically what he told me. Just, sometimes I get frustrated and stop playing with joy, and he just basically told me to get that frustrated look off my face and play with a little joy and have fun, and fixed it after that.
Next question, we'll start here in the right side front row and then to row 2.
Greg, Pete Thamel from ESPN. Whoever wins here on Sunday is going to go to the Final Four for the first time. There's no number 1 seeds in the Elite 8 for the first time. Just what do you think this says about the game and where we are right now?
I mean, it probably speaks to the transfer portal and NIL and and how it's going to be tough to predict on any given season who's good and who's not because of who's coming and who's going. We were fortunate to have the core of our team back and then added a very important part in Baylor that's allowed us to move forward. But, college basketball is there's as much parity as there's ever been. And it makes it fun. It's going to make it exciting. It's pretty ironic. San Diego State and ourselves shared a charter to Maui. Brian and I sat across the aisle from each other from San Diego to Maui and back, and we talked on the way out about wanting to meet in the championship of Maui, and then we'd be okay with one of us winning and one of us losing. So it's pretty ironic that we're going to meet with an opportunity to go to the Final Four. I've got tremendous respect for him. Steve Fisher's been a dear friend for a long time, and a lot of respect for that program. So it's going to be a fun Sunday.
Ryan, it feels like I'm always saying it takes a lot to get you fired up, but it felt like early on there, Princeton was trying to get under your skin, and it looked like you were like pumping iron. What was that? Can you explain that to me and just some of what was going through your head during that?
I don't know. I just got in the moment, man, and sometimes I just let a little more emotion than I usually have out. So I don't know. Sometimes I don't think before I do stuff like that. Couldn't really explain it very well.
And Baylor, it felt like you couldn't miss there for a while. Even the kind of shrug you let off after you banked that three. What was going through your head when you hit that one?
Well, I was just thankful it went in. When it came out of my hand, I knew it was way off, so I'm just glad it went in. But, yeah, it's fun. Obviously, tonight it was my night, and, like I've been talking about the whole time, each different player steps up in any given night, and that's what makes it so difficult to guard. So, just playing with a lot of joy, like Kalk said.
Question on the left side, row 2.
Max Fritsch, the Creightonian. Coach, the performance that Baylor had, especially on the shooting end, is that kind of the player you expected to recruit in the offseason?
His shooting has very little to do with the player I recruited and what I was expecting. He's a basketball player that happens to be a good shooter. And he hasn't shot it to the level that he would like to this year on a consistent basis, but he and I have been talking all year that it only takes one game, and at some point in this season when we need you, all your hard work's going to pay off. Very similar message that I've told Francisco all season, and he had his game last weekend. So I was excited about him being part of our team because of who he is and that he's a really good, complete basketball player. He just happens to be a good shooter.
More questions for the Blue Jays? All right, we'll go back to the right side here.
Yeah, for the players, it felt like for a while there that Princeton's zone had threw you off. I guess what was the point you guys felt like you maybe broke through?
I don't remember exactly when we broke through and kind of got in rhythm with that. I think, obviously that's why teams go to zones to try to throw you off, and then maybe got us for a few possessions where we didn't necessarily handle it as good as we know we could. But once we got kind of acclimated to it, I thought we attacked it pretty well and got a few good looks. Almost a highlight dunk out of Art a time or two, but no, I think once we settled in, we did a solid job against it.
Yeah, I mean, like he said, I think, I think we got some pretty good looks early on. We just didn't hit them, and I think, they go to that to kind of change the pace of the game a little bit. We got some open looks, and we didn't capitalize on them, and, it kind of allowed them to get back in the game. But then, like Cole said, we kind of settled down, and we're looking inside more, and he was sealing down low to get some easy baskets.
Yeah, Tosan, their big man, obviously a tough cover, can't really help the way you'd want to, Cole, when he's on the floor. Just how difficult was that matchup, and I guess how did you feel the second half went in that regard?
I just think he's more unique than most of the fives we played, just because, I guess he's more of a forward. But, I mean, as far as my matchup, just because he has such good ball skills and can drive it and shoot it a little bit, really good passer, kind of like Iguodala and Marquette in that sense. But, I mean, it's just one of those things where you just got to watch a bunch of film on him, get used to kind of what he does, and, prepare as good as you can because he is different than most players I match up against.
Anything else? Very good.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. Congratulations. Welcome the Princeton Tigers here now into the interview room. Coach, if you don't mind, some opening remarks about tonight's game.
You coached, can't believe it, almost 24 years now, and it's just so rare to come across a group like this, led by Ryan and Tosan and Keyshawn, Conrad and Jacob. They allowed us to coach them, and then which allowed us to coach the younger guys and let them develop. And I'm so proud of them. The school is so proud of them. We, you look at, this is such a successful year. It's such a year of joy for our program. And these guys, they've done something that no one's ever done. And I know that, last time there's some really great Princeton teams in the past, but this is a really, really special team. It's such an honor to be around them on a day-to-day basis. We fought, that's a heck of a team. We fought all the way to the end, but came up short, but does not define us in one bit. This is a very special group, and I love them, love being their coach.
Okay, let's start with questions in the interview room here. Front row, we'll go 2 questions in the front on the left.
Jerry Carino, Asbury Park Press. Mitch, there was more orange in the crowd today than any other color. Your fans gave you a sustained standing ovation as you left the court at the end of the game. If you and maybe the players could just say what that meant to you that moment.
It means everything. I told everybody, wait until you see. And we talked to our fans in the hotel before we came over, and did a lot of interviews this week. It was on TV, never got worked up or nervous, and I was so fired up before coming over here. It was the coolest thing. And this group right here, we have a really, we love our school, and we feel really good about the school, and but we felt the love.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be here without the fans, without the alums, everyone that's come to support us, man. I mean, every time we hit a couple shots, they're going nuts, and it gives us all the confidence in the world. So I'm very thankful for everyone who's supporting us.
Stay in the front row on the left, please.
Kyle Franco with the Trentonian. Tosan, so many people saw you for the first time this month. What do you hope they learned about you and this team?
I'm sure that I'm hopeful that they watch those games and saw a great team that we are, saw the great team that we are. And the great talents that we have. We have very talented guys, and we really gel well together as a group. And just our style of play, selfless basketball is, see how far it got us. I'm just so proud of my team, proud of this guy. He's been unbelievable. all year, and especially his levels just raised so much these past few weeks, and yeah, he deserved a lot more, I think, from the Ivy League in terms of recognition, but it clearly didn't mean anything, to him, and he came out and he's played the last few weeks and just put us on his back, and he's been unbelievable.
You have a question in the back on the right-hand side.
Hey, Tosan, this is for you as well, and in the back. It feels a little trivial to ask this now, but given the run of success and kind of burst into the limelight, I know you are an international student, but has there been any interest in NIL deals that's suddenly come your way because of this tournament run?
Yeah, I'm navigating that very carefully with my status, but yeah, there's been some stuff, but yeah, navigating it carefully.
Anything fun? Anything fun that you can hint at?
Not really, to be honest, because again, there's not a whole lot I can do, and it's a fun part of I think the game now, but it's not really, I think, what it's about for us. So,
We do have a couple questions here from our Zoom attendants, so we'll start with Dan.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com, for Coach as well as the student athletes. Coach, you talked about the fan base and the support, just what this entire season from start to finish has meant to you as you reflect on the journey, and to the student athletes, just what this has been like for you to not only put Princeton on the map, but the Ivy League as well.
We were a work in progress all season. We really got to play our best basketball here as of late. Both Ryan and Tosan played very limited minutes as freshmen. They missed their entire sophomore year. Played 2 years, basically. And so what with this team and with these guys at the helm have been able to do is really historic in a number of different ways. I got to play 4 years of college basketball at Princeton. These guys played 2.5. It's just amazing. It's amazing what they've done.
Yeah, just I think the Ivy League and a lot of other schools around the same kind of conferences, and I think we deserve the recognition. You've seen kind of years in a row where teams, 15 seeds and things, are making runs, and I think it just shows that there's not a lot that separates us from everyone else. And if you have a tough group who's bonded and best of friends, man, you play with joy, anything can happen.
All right, we're going to start back here in the interview room on the right-hand side on the aisle.
Steve Bittenbender, Associated Press. Coach, if you could talk a little bit about Creighton's size and length and what kind of challenges that posed for your team, and what that forced you guys to have to do to compete tonight.
We had seen great size and length against Arizona, but we haven't seen Kalkbrenner's agility and the speed, the way they're getting him the ball in different positions. I had said we want him to be 10 for 20, not 18 for 20, and he's 9 for 12. I thought he was the key. They just got easy baskets when they needed them. I thought the last 4 minutes of the first half was crucial, swinging their way, and we couldn't get back into the game. They're really well coached. Coach McDermott, he does a great job, and they know exactly what they are, and they're very well oiled, as we had expected.
Back row on the right-hand side, and then we have two over on the left.
Steve Silverman, Ivy Hoops Online. This question is for Coach and for both players. That was a fast-paced game, especially the first half. I think there were 90 points scored in the first half, and although you guys were right in it, was that the pace you wanted this game to be played at?
No. Thought it was, we were really concerned at halftime about their transition baskets. We thought we played excellent on offense. 3 turnovers. We were playing well. And again, like that last couple minutes of the first half, but it was very difficult to figure out how to get stops, and they were just right on top of us. And so yeah, too many quick possessions. I mean, we had 5 turnovers on the game. We got 10 more shots than they did, and we just couldn't stop.
Yeah, I think just transition hurt us. I think it was pretty evident out there, but I mean, I'm just proud of what we've done, and gonna try not to think about it too much. But yeah, if we got back on defense a little more, I think it would have been a little better. But
Okay, back here in the front row, and then we have one in the back.
Mitch, just a I wanted to get a word on your two seniors up there. They combined for 48 points tonight, and certainly the way that they went out, and what you thought about their performance.
I mean, Ryan in the last 4 weeks has just, in my opinion, been one of the best players in the tournament. And the Ivy League tournament, NCAA tournament, has just been terrific. His confidence level rose throughout the tournament, and so did ours. He's so tough and such an underrated defender, tough as nails. It's such a pleasure to coach him. And Tosan, we've talked a lot about you, Tosan, but these guys were just terrific, and the fight comes from within. And when the seniors are tough, when the seniors fight, it trickles down to the whole group. So thankful to be associated with them.
Back row, left side.
Brett Tomlinson, the Princeton Alumni Weekly. Ryan, you mentioned playing with joy, and in these last 12 days, you seem to have really embraced that. Is that something that you as players talk to each other about how you were going to approach this tournament experience?
Honestly, no. I think we've been, I think as Coach says, we try to be together as much as we can. But I think that just comes from our bond, the Ivy League Special. We've been best friends for 4 years as seniors, and we just spend so much time together. And I think we know we play our best when we're not thinking and just having fun. So when we're just celebrating buckets and just happy for each other, that's when our momentum goes, and it's when our confidence builds.
Time for one more question. I believe it's here on the left side in the front.
Thank you. This is for Mark Cannizzaro for the New York Post. This is for Tosan and Ryan. I apologize if this was asked earlier, but when you look back a month or so from now and think about these last 2 weeks, can you put into words, what would go through your mind if you
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
If you, in a month or so plus from now, when you think about what you guys accomplished in this run in March here, what's going to go through your mind? What will you reflect on the most?
Yeah, for me, I'm sure it'll be a lot of pride. We've created great memories with one another, and I think that's what it's all about. Being able to look back and be proud of something which you've done, together as a unit. And we're gonna, our bond was great. We're gonna have an even greater bond, I think, and it's gonna be special. And I'm sure it'll last, all of our lifetimes. Everybody on the team, top to bottom. So, I'm just very thankful and to be in this position and be in this position with my teammates and coaching staff. And I wouldn't want to be here with anyone else.
Yeah, super proud of this guy and everyone else on the team that's led us to this point, and I think we just gotta celebrate it, know it's something special, and just continue to enjoy this moment for the rest of our lives. And yeah, it's bonded us forever.
Very good. Thanks for your time this week. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.